There's a reason you couldn't sleep last night. There's a reason your heart feels restless, even when everything seems normal on the surface. Because something was happening behind the veil, an attack on your spirit so quiet, so invisible, that not even your closest ones could sense it. But Archangel Michael did. And just moments ago, God stepped in. This isn't a coincidence. It's not just a video. This is a divine interception meant only for you, a spiritual protection alert sent from heaven. Something dark was trying to enter your energy field. But heaven refused to stay silent. You were chosen to hear this before midnight strikes. Before you go any further, breathe. Because what you're about to hear might just explain everything you've been feeling lately, but couldn't put into words. Stay with me. Because Archangel Michael is about to reveal what truly happened, why your name was called, and what you must do next. Before it's too late. You didn't see it. You didn't feel it. But a spiritual trap had been placed near your path, crafted carefully in darkness. It was meant to look like a blessing. It was meant to seem like an opportunity, a relationship, a sudden breakthrough. But it wasn't. Behind it was a force trying to derail your destiny, trying to delay the miracles meant for you. And the most terrifying part? You would have said yes. You would have welcomed it with open arms. If Archangel Michael hadn't intervened. Last night, your name echoed across realms. Heaven saw a shift, a vibration too unnatural to be ignored. A spiritual alarm was sounded, and Michael drew his sword not just in protection, but in prevention. That disturbing dream you half remember? That odd call that never connected? That strange tension you felt without reason? Those were the warnings. And now, heaven has authorized this message to reach you, so you can finally understand what was avoided, and what you must spiritually lock down before it circles back. Because if left unguarded, it tries again. So pay attention now. Archangel Michael is revealing what kind of trap it was, who it was connected to, and how to break its lingering spiritual thread. But before we go deeper into this, take a brief moment. If this message is already connecting with your soul, it's for you. There are no accidents in the divine realm. Subscribe now so you never miss the next time heaven calls your name. Now listen closely. Because what's coming next will explain why you were targeted, and how close that energy still is to you. This trap was not just a passing attack, it was engineered. Somewhere in the shadows, a force began monitoring your rising light. It saw that you were breaking generational cycles. That you were starting to awaken to your soul's true purpose. And that your breakthrough was finally approaching. That's when the darkness moved. It disguised itself. It took on the form of someone familiar, or something tempting, tailored perfectly to your emotional wounds. You might have already encountered it. A connection that felt too intense, too fast. An opportunity that felt almost divine but then suddenly collapsed. A moment of extreme self-doubt, confusion, or spiritual numbness. It wasn't random. It was spiritual warfare. The enemy's tactic was to hook you emotionally, then drain your focus, your faith, and your protection. To isolate you from divine messages, so you wouldn't hear your name when it was called by heaven. But Archangel Michael refused to let this pass. The moment your name trembled in the spiritual frequency, he acted without hesitation. A fiery light surged through the corridor of darkness and shattered the timeline the enemy had mapped for you. This is why you're here now. Because instead of spiritual blindness, you're being handed clarity. And there's something else you must understand. This attack was not about your present, it was meant to sabotage your future. The one that holds more influence, more light, and more healing than you even realize yet. So if you're hearing this now, it's because heaven still needs you in position. You were not supposed to see this message, unless you were chosen to rise above what was designed to destroy you silently. Let's go deeper. In the next moments, Archangel Michael is going to reveal the specific emotional entry point this spiritual trap used against you, and what you must now do to reverse its lingering effects on your energy field. There was a moment in your life, very recent or deeply buried, when your emotional defenses were low. A crack opened. Maybe it was after a heartbreak, a betrayal, a period of overwhelming anxiety. Or maybe it came silently, during a moment you thought was peaceful, but your spirit had gone too quiet. This is when they struck. A dark energy signature attached itself to you, not fully, but just enough to cause disruption. This energy wasn't sent by accident. It carried a coded assignment. To distort your perception. To stir confusion. To delay your destiny by months, maybe even years. Archangel Michael saw this breach forming before it reached its peak. He saw your name being spoken in a low vibrational frequency, not through words, but through energy. Someone with resentment toward your glow. Someone threatened by your inner light. Someone who couldn't control your spirit, so they tried to bind it. Yes. Your name was whispered in a spiritual realm that feeds off emotional instability. And that whisper became a thread. And that thread became a pull. A pull that drew you into situations where you doubted yourself, forgot your path, or almost gave up completely. But Michael stepped in, not with soft guidance, but with divine interruption. Suddenly, that connection fell apart. That toxic loop ended. That false opportunity crumbled. It may have hurt, but it had to happen. Because if it continued, it would have caged your purpose forever. Michael's intervention didn't just cut the thread. He ignited your discernment. That uneasy feeling you felt in your spirit before walking into a room? That sudden urge to back away from someone? That dream you couldn't explain but felt important? Those were not coincidences. They were coded angelic transmissions, Michael's shield brushing past your soul, redirecting you just in time. Right now, you may still feel drained, unclear, or unsure why everything changed so suddenly. But that's because the darkness failed to complete its mission. Your timeline is being restructured. And if you're watching this right now, you've already crossed the spiritual checkpoint of awareness. But there's more. Michael didn't just shield you. He left you with a message, hidden in a dream, a sign, or an unexpected experience. One that you might have ignored, but is now being decoded. In the next moments, you'll understand exactly what that hidden sign was, why it showed up when it did, and what Archangel Michael needs you to do next. You may have looked around your life and felt like something's missing. A strange emptiness. Maybe your body is tired even though you've slept. Or your heart feels anxious without knowing why. These aren't coincidences. They're the silent burns of a spiritual fire sent toward you. Spiritual attacks don't always come like lightning. They come like smoke. First unnoticed, then suffocating. They settle in your relationships, your finances, your mental peace, until the world around you feels off balance. Archangel Michael reveals this truth with urgency. Someone, knowingly or unknowingly, invited darkness to reach you. A whisper in the wrong place. A thought seeded by envy. A ritual that was never meant for light. And in the spiritual realm, a chain reaction began. But you didn't see it. You weren't supposed to. Because just as the fire was reaching your soul's doorstep, a divine hand intercepted it. God, in His mercy, stopped a blaze before you even smelled the smoke. Archangel Michael wants you to understand, the reason you've been feeling off lately isn't your imagination. It's the aftermath of a spiritual rescue. You were being targeted, but the fire could not pass the threshold. Right now, your soul is still healing from that near miss. And while the danger is over, the message isn't. There's a reason you're hearing this now. Because the spiritual attack didn't come out of nowhere, and if left unchecked, it could try again. And this time, heaven wants you prepared. The signs you've been ignoring, the sudden setbacks, the dreams that felt too vivid to be just dreams, these were alerts. Subtle warnings. You didn't miss them by accident. You were protected, yes. But now, you must awaken. Archangel Michael stands near, still shielding, still watching. But even he says, you must now take a step. Because heaven has done its part. Now it's your turn. In the highest celestial chambers, where light is not just seen but felt, your name echoed. Not as a prayer from your lips, but as an urgent note from your soul. Archangel Michael heard it. Not once. Not twice. But repeatedly, like a sacred alarm vibrating through the angelic realm. You didn't speak it aloud. But your spirit did. The angels gather only when destiny is at stake. And yours was shaking. Something happened in the spirit world. A movement. A disruption. A dark force tried to write your name into a curse, but heaven rewrote it into a mission. Archangel Michael was dispatched. Not with a sword, but with a warning. Because your name is written into divine timelines. Your presence, your purpose, it matters in ways you've forgotten. So when darkness tried to detour your path, heaven did not delay. The angelic realms do not whisper without reason. And when your name was spoken, it was not in fear. It was in authority. Your name, as Michael says, is known in heaven. It carries a vibration not even the shadows can hold on to. But someone tried to steal that vibration. Through jealousy. Through gossip. Through spiritual manipulation. They thought if they could dull your inner light, your path would collapse. And for a moment, you felt it, like a heaviness without a cause. But you need to know, it didn't work. Michael intercepted the assignment. And now he's bringing the truth to you, not to scare you, but to awaken you. You're not just a target. You're a soul with divine codes. A carrier of light. A breaker of generational strongholds. Heaven whispered your name because now is your moment to remember who you are. And this message is your sign. Your spiritual identity has been reactivated. The path ahead is not clear by chance. It's been cleared by angels. But Michael says, you must walk it now, fully aware, fully protected, and fully aligned. Open your spirit. Receive this message. Let your soul remember its sacred name. Your breakthrough is no longer pending. It has been approved. There was a curse. No, not the kind whispered in candlelit rituals or buried in dark corners by witches. This one was invisible, spoken through envy, powered by resentment, and fueled by the shadows of those who couldn't stand your rising light. They didn't need a spell book. They only needed their tongue. Because words are weapons. And someone, somewhere, used yours against you. Archangel Michael saw it. He saw how suddenly you began feeling tired without reason, disconnected from joy, walking in circles, repeating emotional wounds that weren't even yours. This wasn't coincidence. It was spiritual sabotage. The curse was designed to do one thing: stop you right before your turning point. Right before the doors you've been waiting for were about to open. Right before the connection you've been praying for was about to arrive. Right before the version of you that's free, healed, and overflowing with divine clarity was about to be born. The enemy knows divine timing too. That's why they tried to rush the destruction before your destiny could root itself. But heaven does not sleep. When the curse was spoken, Michael intercepted. When the energy shifted, Michael stepped in. When your heart cried silently, Michael answered. He didn't just block it. He reversed it. And the curse? It's now a boomerang. The same spiritual force that was meant to stop you is now echoing back toward its sender, multiplied. But Michael brings a warning. You cannot go back to your old habits. You cannot keep entertaining connections that drain you. You cannot speak against yourself, even in jest. Why? Because words are openings. And the curse that failed left residue, little cracks in your energy field where doubt and heaviness can still seep through. So he's giving you instructions now. Speak life over your name every day. Remove anything in your space that carries old pain or bitter memories. Surround yourself with light, in sound, in thought, in people. And most of all, stay aligned with truth. Your truth. Your soul's truth. Heaven's truth about who you are. Michael didn't just protect you. He chose you to walk forward aware, not afraid. You've been cleared. But staying clear is now your responsibility. Heaven can open the door. But only you can step through it. This moment is sacred. You are no longer under attack. You are under divine restoration. Let it begin now. There's a dream you've been having. Maybe not every night, but often enough that it lingers in your chest after you wake up. You've brushed it off. Told yourself it's just the mind processing thoughts. But Archangel Michael is saying, it's not just a dream. It's a divine code. Have you noticed a certain place keeps appearing? An old house. A forest. A road you've never seen in waking life. Perhaps you've seen a version of yourself, crying, running, searching, or shining. These are not random. Your soul has been receiving encrypted messages during rest, while your conscious defenses are down. Michael has been whispering things into your spirit, revealing what your waking mind might deny or ignore. In many of these dreams, you're being shown either what was done to you that you haven't healed from, or what is coming that you must prepare for. Sometimes both. A door you keep walking toward but can't reach? That's symbolic of unmet potential, a reminder from the divine that you're not meant to settle here. A shadow figure chasing you? That's not fear. It's resistance, the part of you afraid of expansion and growth, trying to pull you backward. The storm outside the window? That's a spiritual battle being fought around you, and guess who's standing in it, sword raised? Michael. These symbols are all part of a conversation happening beyond your understanding, but not beyond your intuition. You felt it. That pull. That whisper. That feeling that something greater is watching over you, trying to wake you up. You weren't imagining it. Archangel Michael is saying, your subconscious has been on high alert because the spiritual realm has been trying to get your attention for months. And now that you're hearing this, you're confirming what your soul already knew. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are remembering. Those dreams? They are sacred instructions. Michael wants you to begin recording them. Keep a journal near your bed. Even if it's just a symbol, a phrase, a feeling, write it down. There's a pattern. A message. A map. Heaven is not hiding from you. It's speaking in the only language your soul can't ignore. Dreams. And the most important one is coming soon. Michael says, the next dream you have within 3 days of hearing this will be a divine confirmation. Write it down. Pray into it. Then take action. Your sleep is no longer silent. It's sacred. You've been feeling drained. More than just tired. It's like your soul has been weighed down. You wake up unrested. Small tasks feel enormous. The things that once brought you joy now feel distant. And people around you might not even notice it, because you're still functioning. Still showing up. Still smiling. But inside, there's a deep ache. A fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. Archangel Michael is saying, this exhaustion is not just physical. It's spiritual. You've been carrying too many energies that do not belong to you. Absorbing emotional clutter from family, friends, online chaos, even ancestral patterns passed down through bloodlines. Some of this isn't yours. And some of it is. Because you're sensitive, intuitive, a vessel of light in a world that hasn't always honored it. You are what heaven calls an energetic gateway. A soul placed here to anchor divine truth. But it comes at a cost when you're not protected. Michael is showing me a vision of cords, invisible strings connecting you to people who've dumped their pain on you. Sometimes with love. Sometimes out of survival. But now, you're heavy with their weight. And that weight is what's been slowly pulling you into spiritual fatigue. There's another layer to this. Michael says you've also been spiritually underfed. You give. You help. You pray. You listen. You fight for others. But when was the last time someone poured into you? The divine sees it. The imbalance. The emptiness it leaves behind. Archangel Michael is not just acknowledging your exhaustion. He's healing it. Right now, he's placing his hand on your back. Feel that warmth? That's real. You're being spiritually replenished. He's closing the open doors where energy has been leaking. He's cutting the cords that were never yours to carry. Breathe. You're not alone in this. Michael says, I have walked beside you when no one noticed you were breaking. I have lifted you when your body could not. And now I pour the divine breath back into your being. Rise again, beloved. Your strength is not gone, it was simply waiting for this sacred reset. This message finds you now, because it's your moment of restoration. The heaviness isn't who you are. It was only what you carried. But now, the burden is being lifted. You are being filled, refueled, reawakened. And soon, you'll remember what it feels like to move through life light again. There's something the heavens have been trying to tell you for a while now. But your world was so noisy, so filled with distractions, doubts, and echoes of fear. You couldn't hear it. Until now. This moment, right now, is sacred. Because Archangel Michael is echoing a divine truth across the spiritual realms just for you. This truth is not whispered to the masses. It's for the few chosen souls ready to awaken. A few nights ago, a celestial vibration was sent through the frequency of the angelic realm. It was like a trumpet sounding through invisible layers of light, carrying your name. Yes, your name. Why? Because a shift is happening in your timeline. This shift isn't something your physical eyes can yet see, but your spirit can feel it. It's the strange stirring you've felt in your chest lately. The restlessness. The dreams that felt more real than your waking hours. The unshakable sense that something is coming. And it is. But not in the way you feared. Archangel Michael is here to assure you. It's not your destruction. It's your deliverance. You see, when the spiritual attack began forming, when darkness tried to write a new story for you, it failed to consider one divine law. Your soul is guarded by heavenly contract. Before you were born, your soul was chosen for a higher assignment. And no curse, no spell, no psychic manipulation can override the will of the divine. The warning comes now not because you are weak, but because your power is waking up. And when light rises, darkness always panics. You're not meant to just survive. You're meant to stand. To break generational chains. To become a protector in your own lineage. That's why the enemy came silently. Because it feared the noise your light would make. And now, here you are. Listening. Awakening. This is no accident. This is spiritual precision. This is divine timing. And so, Archangel Michael urges. Listen carefully now. The next part is what completes the revelation. There is a scroll. Not made by human hands. It exists in the archives of light, held in a place that only angels tread. And in that scroll, your name is written. Not just your earthly name, but your soul's name. The one etched into the fabric of divine memory since before time began. Archangel Michael has read it. He has stood before the throne of the Almighty. And when the scroll was unsealed, your soul's vibration lit up in the heavens like fire in the night. That's when it happened. The activation. The angels began to move. Assignments were dispatched. Shields were formed. Warring angels gathered like an army of fire around your timeline. Because what was written in that scroll, about you, cannot be stolen. Not by dark prayers. Not by generational curses. Not by jealous souls who tried to bind your light with words they muttered in secret. Archangel Michael wants you to feel this truth deep in your bones. You are not cursed. You are called. You are not forgotten. You are foretold. The enemy only attacked because of the weight of what your soul carries. And that is why heaven could not stay silent anymore. There's a divine decree being spoken over you now. Release the chains. Lift the veil. Awaken the chosen. And your soul has responded. Haven't you felt it? Moments of synchronicity. Dreams that felt like messages. Numbers, symbols, feathers, lights flickering, none of it is random. All of it was the gentle knock of heaven trying to get your attention. To wake you up to your deeper identity. The moment has come. The scroll is open. Your purpose is remembered. And now, your protection is being enforced. Because the next phase of your life requires it. But what does this next phase look like? It's more than a blessing. It's a divine reversal. A restoration so powerful that even your enemies will watch in stunned silence. And Archangel Michael is about to show you exactly how it will unfold. The divine reversal is already in motion. What was meant for your downfall is being flipped by angelic hands into a stepping stone. Every weapon formed against you is not just failing, it's becoming part of your testimony. Archangel Michael wants you to understand this. The same forces that tried to bury you are now being used to elevate you. The curses, broken. The delays, dismantled. The betrayals, rewritten as breakthroughs. Heaven is not reacting to your pain. It was waiting for this moment to redeem every scar, every loss, every silent night you cried out in despair. But this isn't just about comfort. This is about elevation. You're stepping into what Michael calls your victory timeline. A stretch of your destiny where angelic alignment flows, doors open without force, and miracles happen like whispers in the wind. Expect sudden shifts. Expect unexpected favor. Expect the people who walked away to be replaced by those heaven handpicked to support you. You're not just surviving anymore. You're being launched. Archangel Michael is placing divine keys in your path. Keys to restore what was stolen. Keys to unlock dormant gifts within you. Keys to exit toxic cycles that were never yours to carry. And when you use these keys, when you walk through the spiritual doors that open, you will know it wasn't your strength that got you through. It was divine intervention. Because someone in the heavenly realms, Archangel Michael himself, spoke your name. And when your name echoed through those celestial halls, the divine court responded with only one answer. Protect them. Elevate them. Bless them beyond measure. The battles you faced weren't in vain. They were proof of the power you carry. And now, the reward is coming. But before it fully arrives, Archangel Michael has one last message, a prophetic declaration, that will seal your protection and summon the final wave of angelic help over your life. Archangel Michael now releases this final prophetic declaration directly into your spirit. You were chosen for this exact moment in time. Your name has been etched into heaven's scrolls, marked by divine light that darkness cannot touch. No matter what storms have surrounded you, you are not a victim of fate. You are a vessel of divine fire. The angelic armies have already been dispatched. They're not just circling above. They're walking beside you. You may not see them with your physical eyes, but your spirit has felt them, the chills on your skin, the sudden peace in chaos. The moments where you should have broken down, but somehow stood tall. That was not coincidence. That was Archangel Michael holding your soul upright. And now, heaven is issuing a spiritual verdict in your favor. The enemy must retreat. Your blessings must be released. Your spiritual inheritance must be delivered without delay. Michael is lifting his sword, not just to guard you, but to cut through every chain you couldn't break on your own. Chains of fear. Chains of confusion. Chains of generational trauma. You are being loosed. And he wants you to know this truth with burning certainty. Your life is about to become unrecognizable. Where there was grief, there will be glory. Where there was emptiness, there will be overflow. Where there was wandering, there will be clear direction, guided step by divine intelligence. This is the part of the journey where nothing will make sense in the natural, but everything will align in the supernatural. Because heaven has said yes. The angels have moved. And your spirit, though weary, is still standing. That means the prophecy still lives in you. And now, with every ounce of power heaven allows him to pour out, Archangel Michael speaks these final words into your soul. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not forgotten. You are rising. If these words stirred something deep within your spirit, If you felt Archangel Michael speaking directly to your soul, then this message was meant specifically for you. Don't let this divine encounter fade into the noise of life. Subscribe now to this channel, not just to stay connected, but to stay spiritually protected and divinely guided in times like these. Leave a comment below if you felt Archangel Michael's presence or if you received your confirmation today. Your words might become someone else's sign. And if you feel led, your super thanks offering helps keep this sacred space alive, and lets heaven know, I receive this.